Hi all, right, welcome back to more Redvers Reverse. This is part 4. I have just come straight back here before copying it across. Actually, I started copying across. One of the cables I've got, I need to get new cables, phone cables. It's obviously dodgy. It started copying and it does it sometimes and then stops. And anyway, that's my problem. And I just need to get better cables. It will work eventually, but anyway. So we're on the rifle fire phase of turn 3. This is. So first of all, we're going to consider the rifle fire segment. However, I don't think we're firing at anything. And we've got opportunities this time. These guys are actually going to be worse because they're going to get an extra -1 for being disrupted. And although we could multi-fire into here with 2 of them and multi-fire into here with 2 of them, we'd be firing with, well, it'd be 4 for the strength of the unit plus 1 for the multi-fire. It's 5, but we'd get a -1 for being disrupted, so that's 4. And then these areas have still got not only the units in the emplacement, but which gives a -2, but a -2 for the hidden marker. So it would be a +4 with a -4. So we'd be on a 0. We need at least an 8, and you cannot get that on a D6. So no point there. And then these guys are not that much better. They're not getting the -1, but again, it's the same results because these are all hidden and in emplacements. So yeah, so I did have, just before I pressed record there, I was having a look at the assault, and that when you go in an assault, they don't benefit from the emplacement. I would have thought that they don't benefit from the hidden marker as well. However, they get to fire first at you when you do it. So my take on that is they get to fire first, and then the hidden marker comes off, and then you get to fire at them or attack them. It's a wee bit different. You fire twice, and then I think you go into close combat and fight with bayonets and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll get around to doing it, but there's no real need to look at it just now. So they're the only 2 brigades that we've got that are within range. So yeah, I'm afraid that's going to be that. However, we are going to then get to move on to British recovery. Like I said, we've got the 4 units are disrupted. So roll for each leader with a panicked or standing firm marker to recover. Roll for each disrupted, suppressed or routed unit on the unit recovery table. Now how's it they got that? I think it's when they take a step loss, a strength point loss, whatever you want to call it. I think when they do that, that's when they roll to see if they're panicked or stand firm. So our leader is not in that case. I just want to double check how he actually gets that. Bore rifle fire. I think it must be in the bore rifle fire. Yeah, because we roll to see if they place a panic marker or standing firm marker, and then we roll to see if the leader's eliminated as well. These rolls are got a low success, but they're still there. Yeah, if SP losses are applied to a brigade, roll 2 dice. Yeah, okay. So we will come to that. Maybe sooner rather than later. So we're going to go and look, and then so that we're not going to be rolling for that because none of them are panicked or standing firm as of yet. We are going to roll for each disrupted, suppressed, or routed unit on the unit recovery table. So we're going to come and do that now, and that is for our 4 units here. So when I'm rolling on these, I'll just go left to right, top to bottom. They're all the same anyway. They're all the same 4 strength. Although you might have your favourites on who's who. There's a Scots one about somewhere. For Durham there. 2nd Cameronians, 3rd King's Royal Rifle. That's in the 4th Light. I did see a Scots one somewhere. Well, some of these in a skill, and that's Irish, isn't it? Dublin's Irish. Connaught Rangers. I reckon they must all... yeah, they're called the 5th Irish, Grant. There's not a brigade that's Scottish, though, I don't think. Although Dundonald, he sounds Scottish. But then they're the... Yeah, there's the 2nd Royal Scots Fusiliers. And they are the 6 Fusiliers. Anyway. So we're rolling for the recovery table here. It's a 2d6 roll. And there's some modifiers. So the present level is they're all disrupted. So you can see that if we roll a 7 or less on 2d6, then nothing's going to change. If we happen to get an 8 or more though, we're going to go up 1 level, so basically remove the disruption. You can see if they were suppressed, they need to go up 1 level from suppressed is disrupted, and routed obviously is the lowest sort of rank that you can get. So the modifiers, don't think any of them are going to apply for us. If we had a leader that was a standing firm, that'd be good. We got a +2. If we had the leader panic, not so good. If the unit was reduced, we got a -1. Well, none of them are. And if Buller was in the area with us, that would be a +1. And if it was an artillery and the same area as Long, that'd be a +1. That's why I was trying to move him up to an area. And then also this other one is no bore units in adjacent area as well. We know that's not the case because we've got bore units adjacent here and bore units adjacent there. So because they're possibly about to return fire, or not return fire, actually take fire, because we didn't actually make any fire. Well, I suppose we maybe fired but missed, or maybe we did just save our ammo and thought, right, we need to let them come at us, we'll stand firm here in this way. Okay, so no modifiers at all. So again, like I say, we've got 4 die rolls here. I'll go left to right, top to bottom, and we need an 8 or more. So here we go. Well, that's a good start. 11. Now there's nothing else. No, you can see though that if we had that suppressed unit there, 11 or more, we would have jumped up 2 levels, so it would actually removed, not moved suppressed the disrupted, it would actually just took the marker right off. However, that was disrupted and we got an 8 or more, so that one's coming off. I'm just going to roll for the rest of them. Well, that's unchanged then for the second one. The third one is an 8, spot on, good. So he's getting undisrupted. And the fourth one, excellent. So we got 3 out of the 4 there. So that was good. So I think it was the second one that failed. Not that it's totally relevant, but I did say that's how I was going to do it. So there we are. So we've got 1 unit still disrupted. And remember, when they do get fired upon, this is now in a state where we can decide which unit takes the hat. So if we don't want the disrupted unit taking the hat, but then we might want him to take the hat, to be honest, because yeah, it means that the other 3 are better placed. But anyway, so that was all our recovery. So now we're moving into the bore fire. So bore rifle fire segment, refer to the fire procedure chart. Right, so just before moving into that, looking up there, we're better just looking to see what can fire and who can fire. This can only fire into here. This, actually no, there's an area in between, sorry, not counting that one. Oh no, I'm lying. Because, now, yeah. No, I still feel like this. I think the reason this is split into 2 areas is because you've got to then go in there to get across this drift. This is still in this area here, and this area is joined to this area through this part of the river here. So we don't need to go through. So this can actually fire into this area as well. And then so can this fire into this area. However, this can fire into this area. You can also fire into here, or you can fire into here. These can fire into here. These can fire into here. And that is that, I think. Okay, so there's a bit more to look at this time and work out which is where priorities are going to start, you know. Alright, so bore targeting, bore fire procedure chart. Generate one target area for each firing unit in order of strongest firing unit first. Okay, so I think we need to look at that first. We need to find the strongest firing unit and then find out where he's going to be firing, what area he's going to target, and then go through this, then go back and find out the next strongest, etc. Because it can sometimes work out that some of them won't fire because they can't, they're not allowed to, because there's already multiple fire in the area. So just at long range, what do we have that the strongest? Well, looking from left to right, this is a 4, this is a 5, this is a 2, this is a 6, this is a 7, and this is a 7. So yeah, they're going to fire with multiple firing units. So this is the one that we look at first, the 7. Okay, so rather than me jump back up to this chart, it then says artillery target an area up to a range. Oh, come on. I'm not going to do this throughout the game, but I suppose just when we're doing this. So artillery target up to 3 areas away. But again, we're not in artillery fire. We're not in the bore shell fire phase. This is the rifle fire phase. Commandos target an area up to range of 1. Well, we know that. We've worked all that out. So refer to the bore zone chart to determine the zone. Then we're putting plot markers down. Then we're rolling to find out the area. If a single attack marker in the area rolled, if there's a single attack marker in that area, you adjust it to a multiple attack. And then if not, you would place a single attack marker in the area rolled. A multiple attack marker placed, a second unit fires into the area, and then we remove the plot markers, and then we would then go back to the beginning and repeat that process. Okay. So we know who we're looking at first. Well, I say there's 2 of these, so I dare say, because in actual fact, these could have 2 different targets, couldn't they? If we had a British unit in here, then they would consider both the areas. One of them would go through the... I dare say we would randomise between the 2 at the moment. It's not going to matter here, I don't think, but I think I'll go through that. Basically, I'm going to say this is 1, 2, 3, the Johannesburg Police, and then the Krugersdorp is 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to roll that off camera. I rolled a 6, right? So the one more, because the book, obviously if this had 7 strength, this had 6, and then maybe we're looking at the 7. So it is going to be the Krugersdorp. Probably still wrong. So they are going to, right, and they've only got 1 target area. That's the thing, we don't need to put plot markers down or anything like that. They've only got 1 target area in there. So they are going to target that area with a single attack. Okay? I think this is how this works. Generate 1 target area. Then repeat for each firing unit. Yeah, because that's a firing unit and that's a firing unit, right? So we've done that for them. That's the area they're going to target. And then we go back to the top again. We determine the next one that's got the most strength, which is now going to be the Johannesburg Police. He's only got 1 target area he can fire into. It's in there. He looks to see if that's a multiple, because if that was a multiple attack, he couldn't fire into there. It's not, so he's going to now turn that into a multiple attack. And that's both of them satisfied what they're doing. They're going to fire into that area with a base strength of 7, adding a +1 for the multiple fire, and obviously they've got to draw one of the counters. Now it'll just be the one guy that's firing. It's him that's firing. That's my take on that. So we only draw 1 SP counter out, and it'll apply to that guy. That's my take on that. That sounds right. Okay. So then we go back to the top again, and we don't carry out the fire just yet. So next in line, remember we've got a 4, a 5, a 2, and this is a 6. Now this is where this happened to me in the last little playthrough. This guy was in the same state. Because these are 7s and we look at them first, they're firing into there. So we now look at this guy, where can he fire? The only area he's got adjacent with British units is here. Now he then looks in there and there's a multiple attack marker in there, so they can't fire. He can't fire. He's got no other target. You can see that there's an area separating that between that and that. So he's out the game. He can't play this turn. So next would be the 5 strength. Now they've only got one. He's only got one target area, and that is here. We didn't think it was, but yeah, that seems to me like he can fire, you know, from there to there. So that's fine. So he's going to target that area. Now that's only going to be a single attack. However, so he fires in there with a single attack. We then look at the next strength down, and that's going to be the 4. He's only got one target area as well, and it's in here as well. And because there's only a single attack marker there, he can then join in the attack. Now, could I get lost there? And well, no, because surely you're going to be looking, the main attacker is going to be the one with the most strength, Grant. It's just I'm thinking, you know, let's just say I got called away right now and I came back and I'm saying, right, well, whose strength do I have to count here? Who's adding the +1? That's clearly going to be this, because we would have been looking at this guy first because he's got the most strength. So that's now a multiple attack for these two guys into there. Pretty sure that's right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. And first attempt to playing the game. There's not been any comments as of yet, but then it was just that first part that I've got out there. Did I get the second part? No, because I've done a bit of... Yeah, okay. So, and then finally... Oh, this is bad, actually. I've just realised. Finally, we've got this 2-strength Boxberg, who's got 3 possible target areas. Here, here, and here. And he can't fire into here because there's multiple attack, and he can't fire into here because there's multiple attack. He can't ever fire into here. So that sucks. Because we don't want... Like I say, any of them take a hit and they're eliminated. Fortunately, it's only 2 strength, and it's only going to be a single attack. But, yeah. Right, so I think that's everybody set their targets. Yeah, that's so. This one couldn't fire. No, that's fine. Yeah. So that's them all set. I mean, the good thing about all this is all the hidden markers are coming away from all 4 of the areas. Which then at least gives us a chance next turn. But we might all be sort of beaten up a bit. So now we move on to the boar firing. That was just the boar targeting, if you like. So now we move on to the boar firing. So we resolve fire in order of strongest firing unit first. So we're going to go through that in that same order. And I'm just going to run through this quickly. So if a commando, we place an SP counter. And like I say, I think the one that's got 2 units in it, and also the one that's firing from 2 different areas, we only draw the 1 SP for the actual main unit. Boar firing 10.2. Let's have a look at maybe what Martin's rules. Well, let's look at 10.2 in the rulebook first. Place an SP counter on a firing commando. And it says it there. On strongest if multiple attack. So there you go. But I think it would have to be the strongest because he would be the first one. Well, not necessarily. In that area where there was 2 firing, where we've got 2 firing, one could have been a 7, one could have been a 6. But again, you look at them for strongest first. So yeah, so it just goes on the 1 unit, so that's fine. And then to fire, we select a British unit in the target area as a target unit by referring to the board target chart. Well, we'll come and look at that, but I think that's going to be my choice. Well, yeah, when it comes to the battery part, that is in the priority, but well, it's only batteries I've got there, so that's that. If artillery refer to shell fire, well, it's not artillery. If a commando refer to rifle fire, and then we remove any hidden markers in the area, right? So we're going to do that. Strongest firing first, and let's have a look. Okay, so the first attack is going to be from here. And I suppose it technically doesn't matter which one we draw the SP marker for, but we did randomly pick this guy, didn't we? Whether that matters or not. So we're going to draw an SP marker for him. And that's just randomly drawn out this cup. Hopefully the smaller number the better. So bore strength. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so we got a -2 for that guy. So that's good. So now basically we're getting 7 -2 is 5. +1 for the multiple attack is 6. And then the good thing about that is they're in Colenso and there's no bore units in it. So that gives them a -2. So we might be able to scrape out of this. Right, let's go and have a look and we'll resolve the fire for these guys first. Right, again, so just again looking at the rifle fire table, the bad numbers are 8 and above for us. So bore fire modifiers, and remember this is just a 1d6 roll, so 8 and above. So if they roll low, we've got a chance of getting out of that. So is there a multiple attack marker in the target area? There is, so they get +1. It's strange the way they start this. They've got these two first, and then they have the SP of the unit, and then the minus. Anyway, so we've got a 1 to start ourselves off with. 9 or more stacking points in target area. No, we've got 8. So no, that doesn't apply. Then we get to the present SP of the unit. Well, that is 7, right? We're not taking the -2 because that comes out. So 7 plus a 1 is 8. So we're up to 8. Then we get that -2. Takes us down to 6. That's pretty bad, isn't it? However, no, remember we're in Colenso. So it's down to 6. They are not disrupted. They are not suppressed. They're not in the same area as the target. So down to 6. And then for the British, they're not routed. They're not in close order. They're not mounted. They're not in a drift or bridge area. They're not in a brush or hill area. However, they are in Colenso and there's no bore units present. So that is a -2, so that might help us. So we had a 6 -2. So the final modifier is a 4. And remember, they need an 8 to hit us. And it's only 1 dice. So fingers crossed. We get a low. Oh, we did. A bit of a thumpy one, but we'll take it. So 4 plus 2 is 6, which is 7 or less. So nothing doing. So no SP loss. That means we're not be rolling for morale. I don't believe we need to take an SP loss for morale to be a thing. I'm sure. British losses. Let's look at morale. British morale. If SP losses are applied, morale comes in it. If SP losses are applied, the British leaders roll dice as well. So it's only when we get an SP loss that morale comes, and morale and the leader rolls come into it. So all went well there. So yeah, so no harm done to these. We don't need to check them for morale and that as well. So that's that one resolved. Now I think we just leave these markers here just now. I want to say I think it tells us at some point where to take them off. So now we go back to find the next strongest unit and resolve his firing. Well, he wasn't involved. He was a 6. So it's this guy here that's a 5 attacking into here. So it's him that gets the SP marker. I'll just stretch across and randomly draw one of these again. Hopefully another good one like we got there. And I think that one gets left up there, doesn't it? I'm sure it tells you when to take them off. You know what? I think it tells you on this sequence of play. Because that's the one the guy was getting wrong. He was taking the SP markers off, like the hit markers off. Return SP counters to cup. Yeah, so it's in the next phase, in the bore shaking segment. Right, so the marker for him is going to be Oh dear, we've went the other way this time. He's got a 2. That's bad. Because we're not getting that -2. We're not getting the -2 for being in Colenso. Okay, that's bad. Right, so you can see what we've got, and remember this guy is supporting the fire as well. I'm pretty sure that's okay. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So again, 8 is the magic number we want to avoid. Oops. The modifiers are going to be... So we're going to get +1 for multiple attack, yes. We don't have 9 or more stacking points. The SP of the unit is a 5, so that's with the +1, that's a 6. Then the SP counter we got was a 2, so that's us up to an 8. Doesn't apply, doesn't apply, doesn't apply, and none of these are going to apply. Oh dear. So we're guaranteed a hit here, aren't we? It's not in a brush or hill area. The brush is kind of... Where is the terrain? It's over there. Yeah, brush is kind of like... Yeah, they're square areas. So we're not getting nothing out of that. Yeah, so they're getting a +8 to this. Well, it's kind of horrible, isn't it? Right, so we could end up being worse here. But you can see that if you see the rolls, an 8 to a 12 is 1 hit, but a 13 to a 15, 8. So we could roll, if we rolled a 5 or a 6 here, it's going to be 2 hits. So anyway, here we go. Right, well we got fortunate there then. So 8 plus 2 is 10. So you can see an 8 to a 12 is 1 SP loss. Right, okay. Yeah, and sorry, we should have been checking to see if there was a target. But this is pretty vague, and we got confirmation that if all the priorities don't find anything, then it's your choice. That was confirmed by the designer, which is the one I got recently. So I dare say I'm going to have to look here at some point. But I mean, any routed unit, no, with none of that. Any mounted regiment, no. I mean, we do have a mounted regiment out there, but they're not involved yet. But you can see that obviously that would take priority. The thing is, they're all going to be together, so it's going to be one of them. A battalion that was in close order, that's an event that you can draw, so that's no. Other battalion, I'm not quite sure what that one actually means. Just seems to me, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means, other battalion. I mean, we've got 4 battalions to choose from. A dismounted regiment, and there's none of that. And then a battery, so like an artillery unit. So none of these apply. Like I say, priority 4 there. I don't know what that means. If somebody knows what that means, let me know. I'm sure it must mean something. Just not really hitting me with that one. So there's nothing to pick from them. So we're going to choose where this SP loss goes. Okay, so we do have 1 SP marker to dish out. So we've got to put this underneath one of our units. Now, I was saying about putting it in the disrupted unit, but if we then go to try and recover that disrupted unit, no, it's only if it's reduced, Grant. And this doesn't reduce it, because putting 1 hit on this guy, and remember the hit gets taken off that number, and if it then equals the number on the back side, we then do flip it over, and we remove that. Basically, it's saying that, look, this has got 4 hit points. You know, if you look at it in maybe another way, this has got 4 hit points. If it takes 1 hit point, it takes that marker. If it takes 2 hit points, it gets flipped and that marker gets removed. If it takes a 3rd hit point, that goes on it. If it takes a 4th hit point, it's gone. You know, that's how it works. So, but not until when it becomes reduced like that, it would get an extra -1 modifier to its recovery. So, you know, if it was like that and disrupted, then, you know, so if we took 2 hits here, I maybe wouldn't want to put it on the disrupted guy, because then again, these are all going to have to roll for disruption anyway, Grant, aren't they? So Yeah. Well, we'll just do this. We're going to put it on the guy that's disrupted, whether that's clever or not. So there's a hit marker. It's down the bottom. That's what they say you do with it. I mean, ideally, I'd like to be able to see it, but that's fine. So we did. So one of our units did take an SP hit on that fight, but we're still not finished with bore firing, are we? Yeah, no, we're not. We're not. We've got one more to do, so we need to come across here, and we're hopeful we're not going to take an SP hit here, because that will mean we're going to lose one of these. I wonder if I can choose which one here, because I'm going to choose that one, clearly. I think I'll be able to, because, there's nothing that says it needs to be the stronger one. It just says a battery. So I think it will be my choice. Well, let's hope we don't have that anyway. So it's only a single attack from here. I suppose maybe I should have that like that, to show where the attack's coming from. But then again, that's a multiple attack. I'm sure you're going to remember what's going on. Okay, so this firing into here. And again, there's no benefit to this area. It's not brush or anything like that, so we're not getting that. However, he is going to have to draw an SP counter. So hopefully, as long as it's not a plus, don't want another +2 for sure. Right, and we get, oh, how about that? Oh, well, that means he's not going to fire again. Damn, I didn't really want that. I kind of wanted him to fire, because he's going to keep that hidden marker. Because now he cannot hit, because that's what we had the last time with him. So he's not multiple attack. It's not 9 or more steps. His SP counters are 2. -2 is a 0. And no other modifiers apply. And does it apply if it's a battery? No. No. So he's firing with a 0 with no modifiers. And you can only roll a 6. So in actual fact, even if that had been a -1, that wouldn't have worked. So he's going to not fire. Well, it's good and it's not so good. But okay. Right, so back over to the bore fire procedure chart. So we resolve fire, strongest firing first. Yeah, in actual fact, after each one, we should have been removing the hidden markers. Oh, excuse me. Resolve fire in order of strongest firing unit first. Yeah, well, I mean, we've got to keep going through that procedure until we've fired everything anyway. I don't think that's a biggie. So we're going to remove the hidden markers. So this hidden marker from here goes away. This one from here, here goes away. And this one from here goes away. Unfortunately, this one is going to be considered as not fired, so it's going to hang around, which sucks a bit, but anyway. So then move on to British losses. Place artillery, disrupted or suppressed marker. It wasn't artillery. Apply SP losses to units in target area, and then we're going to remove the attack marker. So we've already applied the SP loss to that. So then we get to remove. Well, we get to remove all these attack markers. That one, and that one, which didn't end up firing. And then moving on to 10.4, British leader. So we roll to place the panic marker. So we're going to roll 2 dice, and if we get a 3 or less, he's panicked. If we get a 10 or more, he's standing firm. We then roll to see if they might be eliminated, and that would be the case on a roll of 2 or 12. And then we would replace them if eliminated. And this only applies to any fire that we suffered an SP loss. So it did apply to the fourth light. Does it show that? Is it on the chart there? No. I don't think it's on this chart, that die roll, but Which is a little odd because everything's here. Not seeing it. It maybe is there, but I can't see it. So British losses, we've placed an SP marker. So now we roll, and again, 10.4 is if SP losses are applied to brigade, we roll 2 dice, place a panic marker, 3 or less, standing firm marker, 10 or more, on its leader. And then after that, well, let's do that first. I know I've just said it, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going to show this all the time. You know, I'm just going to say, right, we're going to roll for it. If SP losses are applied to brigade, which is the case for the 4th light, we roll 2 dice to place a panic marker, if we get a 3 or less, or standing firm marker 10 or more. So ideally we're looking for a 10 or more. And then unless a marker is already present. If the leader gets either result, then it will affect units from his brigade in any area. Then after we've done that, if Buller, Long, or a leader are in any area where SP losses are applied to a British unit, roll 2 dice to see if he's eliminated. On a 2 or a 12 that would happen, and then we'd replace any eliminated leaders. So let's go and do that. Right, so we're rolling for the panicked or standing firm. So we don't want a 3 or less, we want a 10 or more. And this is for Major General Littleton. So we rolled a 6, so it's somewhere in between, so nothing doing there. However, then we got, because he's a leader, he's in the area where SP losses, so we're going to roll, and if we got a double 1 or a double 6, he's going to be eliminated. So here we go. So all good there as well. So you can see there are slim chances of happening, although the last time I got one, I mean, a 10 or more is not a bad shot for a standing firm. I got it the time before there. So nothing doing there. So let's just come back here and now deal with the morale side of things. And that's the only leader we're looking at. The other ones that got fired upon did not suffer any SP losses. So that was good. So then move on to British morale, and it's the same here. If SP losses are applied to an infantry or cavalry brigade in the target area, roll 2 dice, calculate morale modifiers, which are cumulative, and refer to the formation morale table. Find the result and adjust the morale markers to show the new level of each unit belonging to the same brigade in the target area that has a better morale than the result. If units are routed, remove any close order and Bob Hartjets from their leader, who, if in the same area, will then move with them. Okay, right, so we want the formation morale table. Right, so the table's here, but there's morale modifiers across here. So we're looking at 4 different hang on, no. This is just a roll for the actual whole brigade, isn't it, Grant? To see what happens to them. Now, one of the units is disrupted already. My guess is if I get a no effect for this, he still will keep his disrupted marker. I'm pretty sure that would be the case. I don't think he would lose that. He's only going to get to remove that in the recovery part of the game. So, yeah, I think that would be right. That sounds right to me. So the modifiers are, we'd get a -1 to this roll for each reduced or eliminated unit in the brigade. Well, we've no eliminated units and we've no reduced units. Remember, we've got 1 SP loss on one of the units, but that doesn't apply. That's not reduced or eliminated. We'd get a +2 if their leader was standing firm. So if we'd rolled a 10 there or greater, that would give us a +2. However, if we'd rolled a 1, 2, or a 3, we would have got a leader panicked. We've got neither of them, so it doesn't apply. If our brigade was in close order, we'd get a +1 there. If however, we're mounted, we'd get a -1. So testing unit. So do we get to decide who the testing unit is? Or am I rolling for each battalion here? I don't think so, because it says here a group in an emplacement. Well, that's for the Boers. We've got a brigade or group not in an emplacement. So that's like a whole roll for the whole brigade, but why is it giving us a testing unit? That's as if we get to pick one of the units. Well, what are the... I mean, I don't think they're going to apply, but testing unit would be +1 if the battalion or regiment in same area as Buller. So it wouldn't matter which unit you picked, they'd all be in the same area. +1 if Barry was in the same area as Long. -1 in a drift or bridge area, which we're not. A +1 in Red Hill, Cleanso copies or Huangwani areas and no bore units present. Well, we're not in any of them either. And then the bottom one is group morale modifiers. Well, that's for the boars. Yeah, that's for the boars and that's for our guys. Yeah, it's just what it says testing unit there. Yeah, maybe we could, pick, if we had a battery that was, and Long was in that area, maybe we could pick that as being the testing unit. Maybe we get to decide. I've not read anything in the rules regarding testing unit, but that's not to say that it's not there. Anyway, none of them apply, so we're okay. We don't need to, nothing's going to be adjusted there. So there's no modifiers at all. Yeah, give me a sec. Yeah, just have a look at Martin's rules there. He's got that quite laid out quite nicely. Yeah, let's just give this a little look. I know it's maybe not that clear. So morale starts down the very bottom bit there. You might not be able to do that, Grant. So if a unit in the area loses strength, then every unit in the area may suffer a change in morale. For each brigade in the area, so for each brigade, that's a whole, we've just got one brigade there. We calculate a DRM by accumulating a -1 if it is the mounted brigade, -1 for every unit of the brigade that was eliminated or whose strength was reduced. Right, that's what the modifiers are that we've just been looking at. A -2 if the leader is panicked, then a +1 if the brigade is in close order, and a +2 if the leader is standing firm. Right, and then across the page here, then sort of, and that this clears a bit up. That I knew I'd read somewhere, and it's been from here. So it says the DRM is further adjusted. It doesn't talk about a testing unit here though. So DRM is further adjusted according to the geographic context, with -1 if the unit is in a drift or in a bridge, or on a bridge, sorry. +1 if no bores are in the area. Oh, sorry, are in the area, and the area is Red Hill, Cleanso copies, or Huangwani. +1 if it is a regiment or battalion and Buller is in the area, and +1 if it is a battery and Long is in the area. So again, this whole testing unit, whether you get to decide. I mean, because if you had a battery and you had another unit, you would pick the battery if Long was with you, wouldn't you, to get that +1. And then you add that DRM to 2d6. Morale is unchanged with the result of 8 or more, but units in the brigade are routed on a 2 or less, suppressed on a 3 or 4, or disrupted on a 5, 6 or 7. So then you place the appropriate morale markers on each unit of the brigade in the area, unless doing so would improve the morale of a unit that is already demoralised. That's why if I get a no effect result, then that guy that's disrupted already will not improve that, and that's what's clarified there, which makes sense, which I thought was the case. If a unit is routed and if the leader is close order, Bob Hartchett replaces the chit in the Rents cut. If the leader is in the same area, he will route with them. Okay. So still not 100% clear on the actual testing unit, but I can only assume that you get to choose which unit you're actually testing to do the morale, because the morale is just one die roll and that's good to that. So we're rolling a 2d6 with no modifiers at all, and we need, because we are a brigade not in an emplacement, we want an 8 or more. So it's got to be a good one. So here we go. Oof, right, well, that could have been worse. So we've rolled a 4. That could be bad. That's suppressed, isn't it? Yeah. We wanted more than a 4, for sure, so we're suppressed. which is it's one step up worse from being disrupted. So this guy is going to change his disrupted into suppressed, and the rest are going to join him. So not the best result to finish there. I need 3 more. Right, I'll put these markers on. Right, there we go then. So not such a good finish there, however. And that was, we were still should have been going down this procedure chart. Whoa, damn. Sorry. Spun right round there. I don't know what you got to see there. So British leader, that was that, and then British morale, we've rolled on that. We've placed suppressed markers. And then the Boer status, refer to the status chart and adjust confidence and loss markers. Well, I'll go answer that in a second, and then repeat 10.2, 10.6 for each target area. Okay, so we should have, done all these steps individually for each firing unit. It doesn't matter. So I think the way I've done it was alright. I've done all the firing first, and I actually placed the losses where they went as well. And then we came back and done this, and then we're finishing off with that. So it doesn't matter what order, I don't think that would have affected things. And then if all attack markers removed, we return to the sequence of play chart. So yeah, we are going to remove, we have removed all the attack markers, haven't we? Yeah, that's because we removed that attack marker there. We should have done, that should have still been the first one we were on, and went right through there, and then went back up to there, and then went right through, and then back up and right through again. But anyway, right, a quick look at the Boer status. You can see here it would have got adjusted if the confidence and the loss marker would have been up by +1 for each battalion that were reduced. Well, we didn't get any battalions reduced. We took a step loss, a strength point loss, whatever you want to call it. And if we had a reduced battalion eliminated, that would give a +1. A regiment eliminated +1, battery eliminated +1. However, if this had been the fire phase and we'd eliminated a Boer unit, we would have got a -1 to confidence and loss. That's what we would have been checking there in the fire phase. You can see this is checked in the movement phase. This could happen at any time. I think the status stuff. Yeah, we're going to come to this. If turn 5 or later, no British units north of the Tugela River. Yeah. Okay, sure. When is that checked? The actual status phase of the status chart. Is that done at the end? Refer to the status chart and adjust. I don't know if there's an actual point where you check the status phase of the status chart, which is that bit there. We'll have a look at that. It's maybe there and I've been through it. There's that many different steps that you're going through, isn't there? Yeah, because that just, where we're looking just now is refer to the status chart and adjust confidence and loss markers. Well, this is the status chart, the whole thing, so whether that comes in it. If any of these things change, these will be modified, basically. Right, so, and then that was us. If all attack markers are removed, we return to the sequence of play chart. So that's where we're back to now. Right, maybe a bit glary down there and the white's right in my eye, but... So, Boer shaken segment, we return the SP counters to the cup. And that's when that guy started getting some of these things wrong, because he wasn't considering these as being SP counters. He was considering these, and he had loads of these on because he was rolling 2d6 and there was lots of SP losses. And he was taking, at the end, well, the last video I watched, he was starting to take them off, and like, that shouldn't have happened. But anyway, there's lots of things that started going a bit wrong. So it's these that come off, and there's 3 of them. and they're going to go back in that cup. I'll reshuffle them out. Okay, that's part. And then we move the confidence marker one box higher. So confidence marker goes up to 4. And game turn marker's still sitting at 3. I'll just sit there just now though, and we'll just read through these other steps. We would now refer to the status chart and adjust confidence marker. Well, we've been down there and had a look at that. So, yeah, the other ones, if they come into effect, we apply them. I mean, it's not, well, it's maybe just common sense that these apply only once. I wish it sort of stated that, but maybe it does. Anyway, then we roll to see if the boars become shaken. And that's only going to apply if I want to see if the boar confidence marker is in the same space or lower than the game turn marker. So it's not. And then if we roll a 12, we adjust the confidence marker to shaken and add no fire counters to the cup. So not doing that. And then the last step is 8.2 victory segment. The game ends with the board shaking a second time. That's not going to happen. Game ends with confidence markers in the 1 box. Not happening. Game ends with the game turn or loss markers in the 20 box. No. We then move the game turn marker 1 box higher. So it's now at the same as the boar confidence. But obviously that check happens before we move that. Place the boar guns misfire, not going to happen. And then go to the British event segment. So this goes back up to the top. And we start again on turn 4. So that was a wee bit more interesting, wasn't it? We got something happening. And hopefully we're going to be able to do something ourselves next turn. I mean, we've definitely got some artillery that can fire. Well, in fact, all our artillery, apart from... of course, we had to move them, didn't we? Yeah, we had to move them up to their objective. And they only had 1 movement. We've got this artillery ready to fire, and we've got this. And then we moved that one into there, so he'll be able to fire at something else, which is good. I mean, okay, the Huang Wan is still hidden, but I mean, this is not. And these are going to fire at either... Well, actually, maybe a bit of both. Now, this guy's still hidden because of the carry on. However, this one's not. So we'll get our artillery firing, and then unfortunately these guys being suppressed is going to be a -2 to their fire, isn't it? The rifle fire. Yeah, and that happens before we get to recover. So that's a bummer. If they'd been just disrupted, but I don't know. It might still be worth a roll. Like, we shall see. But we've got the second English. They're going to be able to do something to either, well, again, probably into here. Because the ones that have got the hidden markers still no good to us. Well, at least we'll be able to try something anyway. Right, I might as well cut that as another part then. Let's just creep it up to the hour mark-ish. Yeah, I'll maybe get another part in tonight. I'm quite keen, actually. Quite keen to move on. I better get these, because that's now 2 parts I've got on the camera, on the phone, so I better get them uploaded, and maybe have another visit across to our table, but it depends on the time I've got. Anyway, I'll be back soon. Cheers.